Good day, everyone. Today is Friday, 2:59 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a disclosure. Please stop the video and read the risk and the future trading. Yesterday, we had a beautiful run, and today, at the start, the market couldn't find a direction for half an hour, and then the market start trending. As we covered before on every Friday, that sometimes around 1 o'clock, when all the traders done for this week, sometimes, not every Friday, the market takes direction, and those are beautiful days when the market takes direction. Nobody practically trading. The volume is very low, and normally on a Friday the market either go all the way up or all the way down. And this is an example I want to show you today, what happened on a Friday afternoon. And let's look at the 3 minutes. Every single chart has closed the trade today, despite a little confusion when the markets open today. If we are looking on the ES, it doesn't matter. As an Asia trader broker connection, I forgot to say that. If we're looking at that trade on the ES, it is 133. 133. That's what I have said on the previous videos, that sometimes on Friday, not every Friday, guys, there is nothing in the market 100%, but on every practically Friday, some of the Fridays right after lunch, the market take off one direction. And if we look at that trade, this one here, it happened at 136, and this is one trade, and we still going down and going down on one trade. And this is the 3 minutes chart. Let's look on a different chart. This is the YM. For the guys who watched the video yesterday, I said don't think because you have a lower account it's hard for you to trade the CL. Don't you think that the YM is gonna make less money? Actually, if the market is trending, you can make more money on the Nasdaq and Dow Jones with if you have a reasonable amount of so if we are looking at that trade here, it happened earlier today at 10:30, and this is a 5 minutes chart on the YM, and we still on that trade from 10:30, and this is only 2 contracts on the YM, where this one here, the investment is less than $1,000 to invest on 2 contracts on the YM. And as we see, from 10:30 non-stop. The beauty about this strategy, that minimum stop loss, and today doing the trading in the live trading, we've had also $30 stop loss and $20 stop loss. If we are looking on the YM, this is a very acceptable stop loss. Why? The whole idea is, if we notice that area here, it is flat, and this is the worst enemy for any auto trade when the market gets flat. If we are looking at that area here, there is not much really going on. It's stuck. When we had the breakout, so we don't know when the market is going to be flat or a chop or a breakout. We have no clue. So the whole idea within auto trading to survive when the market is flat and take as minimum loss as it could be until this market start breaking out and start moving. Once this market start moving, we are going to move with that market, and we're gonna nail it. So the whole strategy is based on minimum stop loss, not 50 ticks, not 80 ticks. As soon as possible, we need to close that position if the market is not going to our direction. And once the market start going to our direction, we're gonna open up the auto trade and stay on that trade. In the same time, try to be reasonable with the trend so we can close the market if there's any pullback. The same story here on the Russell. It doesn't matter what time, I mean, the amount. I like to see what time. This one, it happened at 1:18 in the afternoon Eastern time. So it is an idea for guys that have work on Friday early. This one here, it happened at 13:40. We had an earlier trade, didn't work. Welcome to trading. Not every trade is gonna work. We had a little bit here on it, but then one small trade, losing trade, the whole thing is waiting on the breakout. And when the market broke, we are with that trade. Let's look at one more, if there is any. Yes, here is one more. We had on the ES, this is a 5 minutes. We had 10:35 one trade. We ended that trade at 12:30. Very nice. I mean, it is the timing. It's not the money. It's the timing. It is perfect. So if this market gonna continue trending, then this is our lucky day. And it happened on the first pullback. And that first pullback, it happened around 14:50. And we still on that trade. And this is how we are catching those trades. Let me show you for the guys, because this is the worst part is a lot of traders, they over-merge themselves and they are in desperate for many reasons. If they have bills or they are in desperate, they over-merge themselves. They don't know how the rhythm on any of this auto trade they want to trade, and then they can get in trouble. But today I want to show that today, this is an earlier today, and I will show the YM and the NASDAQ. Actually, today we had trades on the 288 and the 244. If we notice on the 244, when the market was chopped, you can see some of those trades, and they were live trades. Some of them we closed on $30 a stop loss. And then you can see, as an example, here is a clear picture on the NASDAQ today. We have an entry long at 82 level, and then we close at 80.50. This is a 3 ticks, folks, on a stop loss. The second one we took short. I don't remember those numbers, but I know they were around $30, $35 and closer. Then when the market broke out, and there is a small trade here. It didn't work. And then when the market broke out, we nailed it. So to help this trader, doesn't matter which auto trade he is trading today. Let's go back to the 9:30 when the market's open. And this is a 1 minute. And here is your 9:30. When the market's open, you can see this market was taken long at the first when the market's open. And then, actually, I have them recorded on a live trade. And then what happened, the market pulled back, and then we tried to enter the market. It didn't work. Then we closed it. But then the market started breaking out at 9:47. And this is where the secret is. If you are using an auto trade with a 50, and I have seen it. I have seen some of my traders have purchased an auto trade where the stop loss, not from us, thanks God, where the guy gave them a setting with 50 ticks of stop loss and 80 ticks of stop loss and call it swing trading. This is a disaster because we have no clue when the market is going to break out. We have no clue if this market is going to be flat today. We have no clue what this market gonna happen in 5 minutes from now. So that's why we have to be prepared when this market is a flat or is not moving anywhere, we're not given all our money, so it has to be the stop loss. The management in the auto trade is more important than the auto trade itself, because if we are using a big or a huge stop loss or a dummy trailing stop, that is gonna make us go in and out of the market a lot, which that jeopardize your account when you are going in and out of the market a lot, especially for traders don't have the extra years experience with them. They just have an auto trade because they're trying to avoid the whole trading. That's very fine. I can accept that, but also it is our job from now on. I wanted to explain how things can work with the auto trade. Instead of blaming on the auto trade, I would like for those traders to understand, those new traders to understand what happened, why you made money today and why you lost money today. This is the most important for me, the trader, understand what's going on. So if you started your auto trade today around 9 o'clock, probably you lost a couple of trades or 3 trades in that matter. But then, because it's very acceptable, those stop losses, that you can afford to stay in the rain trading until we find the first breakout. And as I covered in my previous video, every time this market break out and makes a very nice trend, we're gonna have a sideway, especially for those guys that like to trade 24/7. And this is one of our biggest problem, to hold those guys back, that you cannot simply trade 24 hours. And here is a reason. When the market was trending, very fine, everybody was making money, brilliant. But when this market start getting flat, this is a very, very a critical area where the auto trade is gonna fail to make ticks, because there is no ticks to get in there. And that area here can potentially make you lose the money. So we don't need for the auto traders to sit behind the screen and learn price action or learn how to trade, but they also have to learn when to stop, how to manage the auto trade, when to auto trade, and how long you can stay in the market. This is your job. You cannot just take it on everybody and not pointing your finger to yourself. For a guy is trading and stopped here, he's walking away happy. For the guy is insistent on staying and trying to get more money, you can be making more money or you can be losing all the money you made today. So this is something for the traders have to understand what's going on in the market and how you can trade. And I mean, you cannot just, as I said before, folks, you cannot just turn on the auto trade and hide our face under a pillow and we're hoping everything is going to be okay. We need to face the fact. We need to look at the chart, what's going on. As an investor, as a trader, you have to look at the chart. Some traders are refusing even to look at that chart, and that it is not a fair game for them. They don't want to even look at that chart. I don't see how you want to trade if you don't want to even look at that chart. To them is, I have an auto trade and that auto trade has to make money. Fair enough, but any auto trade, there is limitation and there is an equation for that auto trade, and you have to understand the equation match with this market, because the market sometimes can be flat, the market sometimes can be trending, sometimes the market is very slow, and every day comes with a different color. So we cannot just hide our head under a pillow and say it's not our problem. It is the trader problem to understand what's going on in the market every single day before he activates the auto trade. Other than that, he's not going to get anywhere with any auto trade, with any trading system, that's for sure. The rest of them, I'm not going to be covering all of them because most of them, I mean, we got every single chart hit the target. Some of them did extremely well. Some of them did a little bit less. For something else I want to cover today, for the guys overnight or they are overseas, I want to cover the 3 range. Why the 3 range on the NASDAQ? The 3 range on the NASDAQ, I'm not going to be saying every day, but overnight trading, especially for guys in Australia or in Europe or somewhere else in the, I don't know. But I left it on purpose, this one here, because this is one of the options you can do by your broker that you say, I only wanted to have maximum losses of $300 a day. You can contact your broker, and then after, actually I have one trader, that's what he have set it up with his broker, is only on $350 a day. The things is with this one here overnight, if I can set it up at $375 by my broker, so will not take any more trades, you can set your $300 target on the auto trade and then say, you know what, once we hit the 300, let the auto trade stop. You can do that on the auto trade, but for safety, you can contact your broker and say, once I hit the 300 or 350, please do not allow any more access to the trades. And they can do that for you. I don't know the details, but I know I have some traders, and I saw it today myself. So, but what is nice about it, this one here at the 3 range, it is for overnight, and that's why. And if we notice on the last trade on this one here, it was at 6:31 early in this morning, and it hit it. It is a small trade because overnight, and actually the YM, I wish I saved the picture, overnight the YM hit $1,700 overnight. So it could be your lucky day, either direction. If you can have a limit with your broker on a 350, or you can set it up to maximum losses of $350 or $300 on the on your auto trade, and that for the guys are overseas, you can have it, or in the state, at least I can sleep in one piece and not worry about that trade because it's going to close itself at 350. I find it is a brilliant idea, and I think it's a very nice service by the brokers to do that, because we have today a guy, he have that system by his broker. So we can see right now the ES hit the last trade and hit 712 o'clock. That's 712. That's okay. Let's look at the CL 1 minute today. Oh wow. Okay, the CL took that trade at 8:44, and we were done at 10:12 actually. That's good. And let's look at the 1 o'clock. You see, guys, here is around 1 o'clock. Beautiful. That would have taken, the auto trade would take it right there, because this is the first pullback around 1 o'clock. And if I turn it on, the auto trade by 1 o'clock, because it's a Friday, 1 o'clock, this is where normally the markets start taking direction, would have nailed from 65 to somewhere here. I mean, this is not bad at all, trend. And that would have been extremely nice. I want to cover the price action today. On the price action, this one here comes with 3 different type of auto trading, and you can do ATM or ATM strategy, and they all fire the same signal. And the same time, you have a market analyzer giving you the signal, the entry, the target, and the trailing stop and the stop loss. As I have covered the last couple days on this platform, that for those guys have a good size amount of money. If we notice right now on the last signal, not all day long, on the last signal, folks, on the last entry, on the last, when the market gives you a new signal, we have 566 takes based on one lot. And for the guy has money, can hedge or have enough money to hedge the future, if he's taken one contract, those are what, around 20,000-30,000. Plus you have to have around 20,000-30,000 on the side, because you cannot overmerge yourself. But this one here, you don't need to wait till it gets 600 takes in a profit, because that's around 586 takes. This guy is hedging the market. He cares less if the CL has 9 ticks down. He cares less, because he's not looking at the details on the bar. He's hedging the future. He's looking at the total. So once we get the 100 tick, you can just right click and flatten everything. So of course the guy has more money in the account. He has much more advantage from this guy chasing one bar and one small stop loss and one instrument. This guy have harder work than this guy just looking at this market and in a bigger picture. The same story if we look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, we have a sell entry at 6833. This one here, 6833. And then it tells you where is the target on the NASDAQ. Here is the NASDAQ. Tells you the target is 6782.75. We hit the target. We don't need to worry about this bar plus and minus, because this can be generated by the buyers and the sellers and the fibs. That's a different story. We don't need to. But you can copy those trades, and you can do it manually or auto trading. Or, I mean, you can auto trade it because you don't need to make a decision. The decisions are already made on the chart. The same story on the Forex. You can use it on the Forex, and this one, the Forex is based on 10,000, and then you can use, and all of it is based on 1 minute, folks. It's not 15 minutes, it's not 20 minutes, it's not one of those weird charts. It's a real 1 minute chart. The same thing on the stocks. It is a 1 minute chart, and it tells you exactly where is your entry, which direction the market. And even if you don't trade the stocks, like today as an example, we have the YM was not sure which direction want to go, and the market at the first half an hour couldn't find a really direction today on a Friday. But at least by looking at the chart here on the stocks, you can see most of the stocks that were in a red. That can give you a direction. Sometimes it is very important, even if you are trying to auto trade, because also there is something small details. I mean, we don't need to learn price action for many years. As an example, today caught my eye on the market analyzer, and this has happened to us today, that when we are trading, we have the YM taking long and the NASDAQ taking short, so in the same time. So this is a very, very critical area also for your if you are an auto trader. A big portion of the auto traders, they don't want to even look at the chart. They don't want to even look at the market. They just want to look at the end of the day, the money. And if they make money, you don't hear a beep. But if they lose money, they need to blame somebody. And that's how it is. We cannot do anything about it. But for those guys, they are in between auto trading, and they care about their money, and they care about looking at the market to see what's going on. This is one of the very privileged when you see the market analyzer going in the same direction. Let's say on the ES, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. It used to be in the old days that NASDAQ followed the ES and the YM blindly. During those last few years with the internet, the market flattened out, the market become, it's a different ball game. Now the NASDAQ can go by itself and dismiss the ES and the YM. However, the NASDAQ still stops at the major support resistance on the ES, waiting on the confirmation. So if this ES hold, the NASDAQ pull back. If this ES, so still respect the ES on the main line. And that's why you see sometimes the volatility on the NASDAQ. I'm not trying to teach trading on a YouTube, but what we can do, very simple. It is very nice to see. It is very nice if you are trying to start your auto trade at any given time. It is nice to see the ES is in one direction, the NASDAQ on the same direction, and the YM on the same direction. So earlier today, around 9:30, I had the NASDAQ to the plus, and I have the ES to the short direction. I have the YM was loose between those two. So that can give you immediately, for the guys are trading the YM and the NASDAQ, that there is something wrong in the market cannot find direction. Because once this market find direction, your auto trade is gonna nail it. I'm not worried about that. But those small things in the trading, you have to face it. You have to understand that sometimes the market can be lost of direction. We are waiting on the big boys to find a direction for us, because we cannot sometimes find direction in the market. Even if you are one of the oldest traders, sometimes it's very hard to read where is this market going, if it's going down or up. Sometimes you have conflicting news where good results like today come out and a bad results come out on the other side. So this is gonna confuse the trend in the market. So for those guys, I'm pointing this to my traders. If you can excuse me, I'm sorry, at the end of the day when I'm talking, usually I've been awake 16 hours, and now, I ran out of batteries when I do the videos. It's been a long day, and every day is a long day. We put around 16 hours, so I apologize when my voice trying to be sound like I'm very tired, but from 4 o'clock in the morning till the market close sometimes, can be too much. But if we are, especially for my traders, when you see this market, just take a look. I don't want you to analyze the market. I don't want you to learn the price action. I give up on that area here. But at least if we can see the ES and the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones are in the same direction, that indicate that this market go in one direction. So what we can do on that, we can say directing this auto trade to short trade only. Can you see? So now I'm directing that auto trade to go short trade only. So now it's not gonna take long anymore. Or if I need to step out of or if you see this market analyzer is not in sequence, that's very fine. Then we can pause until that ES, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones are in sequence in the same direction, because that system tuned, is very well tuned. So it's studying the price action, it's studying the high lows, it's studying the high time frame. So when we are looking at the market analyzer here, and we see those three in the same direction, if we noticed a minute ago, the 30-year Treasury bond was on the same direction of the ES. This is something wrong. So right now, by the 30-year Treasury bond, we have a buy signal that confirming the market is not over yet by the short with the ES and Nasdaq, and because the 30-year Treasury bond goes the opposite. So I don't want any trader to learn price action anymore, but at least those small things in your trading, to keep your eye on the market analyzer. If you come in today, you want to trade, if you see the ES, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, they're not in the same direction, wait 5 minutes. Wait 10 minutes. It's fine. At 9:30, if you see one is going up and one is going down, especially those three, if you want it to be more advanced, that will be nice if the 30-year Treasury bond to the plus, as you see right now, we have a new target, new signal on the 30-year Treasury bond. And if you notice right now, because there is a new target on the 30-year Treasury bond, now we have the entry. And now it is going, and we only have 2 ticks, but now the total profit on this one here is 743 ticks from the minute we started the video. So now we can see here the ES is down, the Nasdaq is down, the YM is down, and the 30-year Treasury bond is up. That immediately can tell you that market is in sequence. It's not going to make it different, but at least now it is much safer to turn on your auto trade, and it takes you 1 second to just look at it. So if we are looking at the price action, this is the new signal with the 30-year Treasury bond. It tells you where is the safe entry, the entry price. Tell you what direction. The entry price was 145.04. This is 145.04. And telling us is the 145.12 is the target. That's very fine. In between, we have a nice fib here. So if you don't want to wait all the way till the target, like now, we need to close I mean, if you want to close your trades or you need to leave, at least you know where is your line. At least you will not be missing that much. You can probably put your order, a sell order here, or you can put your sell order here, few ticks below the target, and call it off. So also, if you want to, you can put your auto trade, the swing trading, on that chart here, and you can keep your eye on it, and that will be nice to have a second opinion for the ones they want to work. But sadly, most of the auto traders, they don't even want to look at that chart. I can understand that. But for the guys that want it to be more to that direction of trading, and they want to make it as a job, for them, soon or later you have to look at the chart, because you cannot just make your bet the rest of your life and with your eyes closed, folks. This is all about money, and there is no picnic in the trading, believe me or not. One of the things like today, I mean, sometimes we can get mad. We have one trader, I had the Nasdaq and the YM, and then he said, I'm jumping on the ES. Then he switches auto trade to an ES. 1 minute after, the YM, I think, or the Nasdaq hit $700 within seconds, and he was just jumping. Why he did this? So even if we don't do anything wrong, we can really be pissed in this business sometimes. As you see right now, the 30-year Treasury bond, we got a new entry, and we are climbing to that number or to this projection. We'll find out. Let's look to another chart. If we are looking at the YM, this is 1 minute YM. We had an entry. If we notice this YM all day long short, and on a Friday sometimes it is very hard to reverse the markets on a Friday. Actually, this is the worst day, is Friday, reversing the market, which I love reversal. We had an entry at a sell entry at 59.22, and the target is, look at this, how many ticks does YM? The YM did 378 ticks, and that is based on one contract, folks. 3-4 years ago, if you're asking me about swing trading, I would have run. I mean, I say swing trading, no. But because of the internet and the market, the prices got smoother, because now, I was just talking about it today to somebody, and now we have traders are in and out of the markets within seconds, and the execution is just splits of second. The prices has smoothed out a lot. It's a total different ball game from 10 or 20 years ago. So 3 years ago, if you talk to me about the swing trading, I say this guy is a mad. I mean, why he want to swing trading? But now, because of the speed, and if you're trying to pinpoint where is this bar going, that is gonna drive any trader crazy, actually. Or maybe because now, I don't know, maybe I don't have the patience anymore to look at the bar and trying to predict it. I don't know, but I find right now in this age that the most success trading right now is in the swing trading, not in and out of the market. The reason is we're looking at this picture in a different way. We cannot anymore react to every single bar movement. The used to be very good this way, but now, I mean, if you don't swing the market, you're gonna be dive into a lot of noises in this business, and that can make any trader, the aggravation trying to predict this bar, especially guys on a smaller account, the frustration, it is overwhelming, and they have to blame somebody. So I think for the guy, like what I said on the last video and I showed you, for the guy have the small amount, he need to start with one YM and one NASDAQ. Even for the guy, today I have a new guy. I told him, I don't care if you have 3,000, 30,000, or 300,000. It is good to start with one contract on the YM and NASDAQ to get the habit of that auto trade and try to understand when this market is breaking out, when the market is flat, and then you can start increasing your lots from one contract to 3 to 5 to whatever you want to do. But it is very important to understand the movement in the market when you first start the auto trade, and then try to survive. And this is the key where a lot of traders do not pay attention to, not to give too much money on the stop loss, as little as possible, until we catch a trend. And once we catch a trend, it's over. Folks, wish you very, very pleasant weekend, and God bless you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.